Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome on back to a comment or question of the day episode where we've got the castle right over there. Isn't it great? I love it. Yeah, that was last episode. We got a bunch of new stuff now. Oh boy. But for the first comment today, we are starting right here. Just got to get all the pages through this one. There's a lot of comments by now, and it's been so fun. Where is it? There we go. The first comment is coming in from Hanculus. I really love the view on the valley and the mount with the mountains on one side and the castle on the other. When I saw you building this awesome castle and the forest, I had the idea you could build an actual taiga/spruce forest further to the north. It sounds like a fun project for a series of streams as you did with the mountain. I will be honest, I absolutely love coming over here and sitting on top of this tree and just looking. I'm very, very happy with how this turned out, so I completely agree with you. And also, yes, I want to start a massive terraforming project. I actually have like 4 or 5 in mind, a few I've talked about on streams, and one of them being right back there to the north. I would absolutely love to kind of transform everything. Like I did with the mountain range back in my Building with fWhip series, I would love to do some crazy project like that. And incorporating the spruce forest, because we actually have a natural one right over there, I think could be a cool way to, one, mix up the type of trees that I'm building from the oak and all those and go into something different as we're moving into a new region of the world. And it would also make it a little bit more realistic for all of the mountains and everything. The only concern I have is what you can see loading in here at the far end of the biome, which honestly, if we go for a taiga, we could actually work that into things. But there's a lot of snowy biomes up here, which means everything we do either needs string on top of it, or we just have to full commit and send it on the snow being everywhere. As we have the snow over here and looping over this way, we have the swamp, which will be the same issue I ran into in the Building with fWhip world, where we get that disgusting grass color. So that would all have to be something we deal with, or maybe we bring the mountains back down around here and, actually have an end to them. I mean, we would already be covering an entire another biome with this one, so that might be large enough. Who knows? Or we could surround that with a mountain on the edge of the swamp. Ooh, so many ideas. If you're newer here on the channel, this is my original survival world. I just fly around in creative right now as I don't really plan to continue the series at any point, and I just like to be able to look at things more easily. But up here, as everything is loading in, you can see an example of the massive terraforming project I was working on. We've got the entire taiga biome up here with all that, and I think we can send it even further with the new blocks that we have in the game, even villages and entire mountains reaching up. That was the old world height, and now we have the ability to go to the top of that pillar, which could be so fun. And well, underneath looked a little bit like this, but it would be pretty cool to do something like that again in the future. Second question today coming in from Kevin B2595. Every time I see someone do a build like this in a place where tons of mobs spawn, it makes me wonder why more people don't just build a mob switch before taking on such a project. So for this, something I've been trying to take to heart recently in how I play Minecraft is not min-maxing the fun out of the game. If you're not familiar with it, min-maxing is a term that's mostly used in MMOs. It's where you basically do everything as optimally as possible to get it done as quickly as possible in the most efficient way. Usually to the point where you do it so much that you run out of things to do inside of the game, inside of your Minecraft world, or whatever it might be. I think this is a reason why a lot of people are like, what do I do next in my world? I've already done everything. I already have the best of the best. I built the best creeper farm right away, and I never need any more gunpowder ever. But what do I do with 100,000 million bajillion gunpowder that I have? I mean, it's just sitting there in the storage room and I got nothing for it. You kind of get what I'm saying there of there's some things that you can do in this game that do make things a lot easier, but it doesn't mean it's the most fun way to do something. For me, Minecraft is a game about the journey. I'm not just actively working to get the project done. I'm here for the experience of doing the project and showing the whole process of creating one of these builds, whatever project I might be working on. And I'm also here to create content about this game, as I am trying to create YouTube videos. If I was just doing it in single player, I might be, or just for myself, not making a video, I might be more likely to set up a mob switch. But as I am making videos off of this, I think it's a lot more entertaining when the pillager fights are in there. And if I build a mob switch, that would disable mobs completely from the overworld. And I kind of ask myself at that point, would I even be playing hardcore Minecraft? Sure, the single death rule still applies and the world would be over, but that removes all chances of death inside of the world outside of falling on something, or, just falling in death or getting trapped in lava or exploding yourself, which basically means you're playing on peaceful at that point, minus the exploding being able to kill you too. But I think that could actually do it in peaceful too. I'm not sure. I've never really played peaceful, but for me, that sounds extremely boring and really takes away the whole purpose of hardcore. I mean, if you want to build mob switches and make your world easier to survive in and have it as a cool technical feat that you did it, that's fine. Go for it. Do it. That's really cool that you're doing that and you enjoy doing that. But for me, I find if I remove all of the threats of this, the same way that in my almost 10,000 day old survival world we were checking out earlier for a brief moment, I kind of got to a point where I was just bored. Everything was so established and I had done everything. There was really nothing left to work for other than just placing blocks down. Having hardcore be a mode where a pillager could hit me with a crossbow off the tower, and if I don't react fast enough, I take a lot of damage and fall down, pop a totem, bad things happen, or a ravager gets in there, or something like that, or just random stray creepers. That kind of threat of the world being in there and having a chance of losing the series and losing the world, for me, actually helps me stay engaged in the game a lot longer and helps me stay motivated to want to do things. I also totally see for some people that might be the thing that makes you not want to play the game at all. But I find for me, that's what helps me want to continue, is having a true hardcore series. I'm not cheating. I'm not breaking any rules. The only thing that I'm really doing here that I would consider kind of a little cheeky is I duplicate TNT for some of my farms where there's no other way to automate the farms. But outside of that, I don't really change anything inside of the game. I like bare bones vanilla Minecraft, and I want everything that it's going to be offering. So if that means I turn into a porcupine when I'm building a castle like that big guy over there, then so be it. Question number 3 coming in from Andre Peterson 5589. Hi fWhip, have you ever thought about doing tutorials? Like not of singular builds, but of a general type of build. For example, styles of different build styles, or how to detail your environment. To simply put it, no, not really in the way that you would expect to see a tutorial. I have done some tutorials in the past, but I'll be honest, I hated the process of making them. I would get really burnt out and I would really dig my feet in the ground and be like, I'm not having fun doing this. And it makes it really feel like work to get it done. Where yeah, building all these houses and things and establishing the build style here is definitely work, but having to break down something that I already made and already have finished up into the different elements and then turn it into tutorial format to make it believable and easy follow for any single person that would pick up the video and watch it and learn how to build this grocery store, to me, that doesn't sound like fun. Also, side note on that, I've done tutorials in the past, and the amount of people that stole the videos and just completely followed my tutorial to make their own tutorial building the house that I built a tutorial on, and then they would upload it and then they would get hundreds of thousands of more views than mine because their algorithm worked better for tutorials on their channel. Very frustrating, very much making me not want to do it. But I also find the things that I would want to make tutorials of aren't something that would do very well on a YouTube video Minecraft tutorial type thing, so they wouldn't get very great views and it would actually actively hurt the channel more than help it. It also takes a ton of time to get them done properly, where I can instead spend that time building new houses inside this world, working on the main series videos. Oh, that's my inventory. And I personally find that to be a lot more fun and motivating to want me to keep moving forward on making all of this cool stuff so we can have a whole world to explore. As far as the concept tutorials you mentioned, I do like to include those as small bits throughout the video as we can talk about, I don't know, how to detail a riverbed as this is coming down, or really slow the video down for a moment and just talk about some nitty-gritty details of how I'm doing things instead of just focusing on big, grand, wow, windmill appeared. I also have a ton of videos like that on my channel that you can go check out for how to plan out towns, how to plan a castle, how to build a city, whatever you can think of for how to plan or build or do that type of stuff. I probably have it somewhere on here, as that's actually how I originally grew my subscriber base. If you didn't know, my first main video that kind of popped off and went viral was a how to build a castle video, talking about how to lay out the base shapes and nothing more. I didn't actually build the castle, I just talked purely concepts for it. All that stuff still applies. You might just get 6 years ago fWhip, or 5 years ago at this point. I'm not too sure. So it's a little dated, but you know, the concepts are there. And then after that, the first major explosion I had was a how to build a city video, where I just kind of laid out an entire city in concrete and talked over a time lapse as I was doing and how I was spacing out buildings and all that stuff. And that thing got like 1,000,000 views in a week. And to be honest, that is what started the journey to becoming a full-time YouTuber. So if everybody's like, what's the moment where you're like, ooh, this stuff might be happening? It was that video going live because it just absolutely blew up. My previous most popular video on the channel at that time was like 100,000, maybe 200,000 views. And 7 days later, that thing was above 1,000,000. Yeah, you can kind of see where it went a little crazy. So I don't think you will see many tutorial videos from me in the future. I think I've moved way beyond that. That was an old style of content that I used to do when I was trying to really find my place in the Minecraft YouTubes. And at this point, I just love my Let's Play style of getting in here and playing the game and bringing you all along for the journey. You hear me say that a ton, and I really, truly do mean it. I want to show you all how I play this game and bring you along for that ride, not try and teach you how to play the game. You can follow along with what I do if you would like to, but I'm trying to just give you inspiration on how you might want to do things. And I think the best way for me to show that is through how I actually play. Not telling you, hey, place one cobblestone here, one stone there, and then do a stone brick and bring it up 4 blocks to create a wall. On to the last question for the day. 39 pages into this book. We are almost through this one. We're going to be like 2 or 3 more episodes and this thing's going to be full. But it's coming in from ZT Viper, I believe. I love this series. I hope it goes on for forever. Me too. With the increase of every build having to outdo the next, do you think there will come a time where that drops off and we have a new Minecraft meta? For starters, I would love for a new meta to appear on the Minecraft YouTube side of things because it would just be breaking things up. As you're kind of mentioning that going bigger, doing more and more and more, it does get a little exhausting after a while. But I will say the meta right now also really, really suits how I like to play this game. As a creator, I don't want to have to talk through every single build that I make, and I want to be able to build more than one house per video or more than one thing per video. So the mega build, or the meta of doing bigger builds and a lot more builds in a single episode, to be honest, for me, I think has had a positive impact on my channel, as it's really allowed me to set in and see that there's success in doing more than one thing in a video, and then doing that myself has made me really enjoy how I create things and really changed my style of content moving forward and set it as something more unique. As I don't really follow that going bigger and better every single episode format that you see some people doing. The people that do that, that's a little too much. I don't think that's going to last much longer because we've already had people claiming to build an entire universe in Minecraft, and then somehow their entire universe is like 400 blocks wide. But you know, they built a universe, so like good for them. I do see this meta as moving to be too big, though, off of what I just mentioned. Is you have people building universes, you have people building entire dimensions and worlds in a single video, and just going bigger and grander and spending an entire month on a video. Eventually, there's going to be people who are doing that thing, and the month that they spent on a video project that they think is going to be the next big meta thing, they're going to get it wrong, and they're banking their entire month off of one video doing really, really well on their channel, and that's all they have, and it has to bring in 3-4 million views for them to make it worth it. If they instead just did like a single video every single week. Like I always see on my homepage on YouTube, these people that upload a hardcore video 1 month ago and it has 5 million views on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. They got so many views on their video. But then I add up all of the views that I get on my videos that I posted just in that month, and like the residual views coming in and everything like that. And I'm getting more views than they are. And they spent an entire month working on one thing with one bet, and their channel's about the same size as mine. And if their bet didn't pay off, they would have gotten no views. It's a very volatile way to run your YouTube channel, whereas I think having smaller but still large and grand projects is the healthiest way to do it. And I find the level of stuff that I do per video right now to be something that I can keep up with pretty sustainably moving into the future. And I'm very excited to kind of continue this and really bring in this style of smaller projects, but each project that we start in a video, we do finish it and we do put a good amount of hours into it. Right now, I put in about 20 to 24 hours of Minecraft gaming time, bringing it to like 140 to 150 days per video. But you don't see me saying I built this in 100 days. I mean, I don't do it too often. If it's like 200-300 days, I might say that, but you know, that's just for the clickbait right there. Full honesty, sometimes it works out and sometimes it's really good to do. That's part of being a YouTuber, but I don't ever lie in my videos on that front, so I think it's fine to do. But anyways, back to the Minecraft meta thing. I would love to see something new, but I don't think it's going to be something that goes back to slower style content, just with the recent explosion of short form content. Not recent, it's been about a year and a half, 2 years now, with TikTok and YouTube Shorts taking off and all that stuff. You can get a video on there that will be building a single house, and you'll get it in 40-45 seconds. So with the current attention span of audiences and things like that, I know there's a lot of people who do prefer that slower form content, but that's where live streaming comes in with that slower form content. And then you have the VODs available for that. But when you go into a video itself, you'll find a lot of people are struggling right now when they do at that slower form, where over 20 minutes they build a single house or they just go on an adventure. You'll see a lot of people struggling with that right now, because the attention span to try and get people to watch that entire video enough to where it's going to push well on YouTube is pretty hard to achieve, which is why you saw the shift into this doing more and more and more, because the videos have to be more exciting and hold people's attention spans who are more likely to click off and go and do other things. Unfortunately, we do have to build them for the masses sometimes on YouTube instead of building for a small slice of the audience, a smaller slice. So if you're asking me to predict what the next meta is, I honestly have zero ideas where it's going to be going from here. I'm a little worried that it's going to continue on this bigger trend for another 6-8 months or so, until some of those people either get exposed as cheaters and then they get canceled over it, or they realize that when they're going bigger and bigger, they're going to have to start spending 2 to 3 months on a single video. And then from there, they're going to be like, it's not even worth it anymore. I'm putting too much time into this for the money making out of it. Or you're going to see them go super sellout mode, and then their fan base is going to be like, what? Overall, I am excited for the future of Minecraft YouTube. I think it's in a very healthy place right now. 1.21 is going to have a lot of great changes for the technical community, and I think it's going to bring that back in and also make it a lot more approachable with the auto crafters. Compared to right now, technical Minecraft is pretty difficult to get into, so that's why you see people just follow a tutorial, and they'd rather follow the intense big tutorial than follow something that is smaller that they're still having a hard time understand. You only want to, if you're building a creeper farm, you only want to make your brain hurt building your creeper farm once probably, instead of going through it multiple times over and over and over again to slowly level up your creeper farms. But you know, that's how you might actually understand the mechanics, so maybe do that. But that's gonna do it for today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Let me know any other comments you have, as we've got one more video left for the year coming out next Thursday. Then I'm gonna be taking a little bit of time off for the new year, headed out to go visit some friends and things like that and celebrate the new year. And I'll be honest, in the start of January, it's very rough on YouTube. The ad revenue resets as no advertising departments have figured out what they're doing for the year yet. So posting a video, I found last year, after paying my editor and everything like that, I was actively losing money. This is not me asking for support or anything like that, by the way. This is just me saying that I'm gonna be quiet on the main channel. We'll maybe do a few streams for the first 2 weeks or so of January, maybe 3 weeks. And then I'll start ramping videos back up as we get closer to February and everything like that. But I'm going to enjoy some well-needed time off. So thank you all so very much for the support over this year. Hope you did enjoy all of the content in 2023. I guess we got another videos that I can send off at the end of the year. So there'll be another one of these next week. Woohoo! Don't have to do all that. But anyways, if I don't see you again, happy holidays, happy new year, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.